Get this stream started, you guys. Quick disclaimer. The information that you're going to get in this video is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just going to be live day trading with you guys today, taking a look at the market using ICT concepts. I do recommend that you do not follow my trades, right? Don't follow any of my trades. Everything in this video is for educational purposes only, right? Not financial advice. So you guys see, I have my Apex EVALs put up right here. So we're going to be looking at the market. This is my first time really trying to do it this way, so bear with me. I follow the same process pretty much every day. So I start off the daily. We're going to be looking at where did the market break out as far as the daily time frame. As you guys can see, we did break out of yesterday's high up there on the daily time frame. So now the next thing I'm going to be looking for is where do the market possibly want to go leading up into market open. First thing I'm going to notice is this big wick right here on the daily time frame. Right, so I can measure this wick out right here if my Fibonacci 2 ever places. So I can measure this wick out right here and get an idea of where the midpoint is at on this wick, right? Then we could take that off of our chart, and then I'm going to drop down into the hourly time frame, because the next thing I'm going to be looking for is where do the market want to go, right? So on the hourly time frame, you guys can see up here, we got a swing failure up here. We took those highs on the 1 hour, and the price decided to close below. And then down here, we're getting ready to potentially sweep some liquidity as the market opens up, right, in 1 minute. So how I like to find my liquidity, I like to just find it on the 1 hour time frame. Going in there and finding all of the swing lows on the 1 hour time frame, right? Now, because we have this swing failure on the 1 hour, I'm going to drop into the 5-minute chart, and then we could possibly find a trade from the 5-minute charts, right? So obviously the market looked like it wants to continue to go to the downside, right? It looked like it wants to continue to go to the downside, and it's doing so very fast. I do believe if we get a retracement that we may be able to use, right? Like if we can come up here and sweep this high right here. That's the wrong one. Come on, nothing is working today for me. I don't know what's going on. All right, if we could come back and get a retracement, I do believe we could maybe use this up here as a stop and maybe try to target this down here. So we're going to see what the market does. Remember, you guys, we do have FOMC news at 2 p.m. today. So typically the morning session, it can offer you some moves during FOMC, but we really want to be careful, right? Because we have that news coming out at 2 p.m. and that's typically going to be a better time to try to trade, is when the news come out. There's going to be a lot of volatility in the market. So as you guys can see right here, we're getting this pull back up. We're on a 5-minute chart. I don't think that the market is going to go all the way back up here and sweep out this high. I think it's going to save that liquidity for later. So that is why I'm using this little area in here as a stop loss. Right? I'm using this area in here as a stop loss. If I wanted to be extremely safe, I could just at least put my stop all the way up here, right? Just to be extremely safe. All right, then we're just going to target some of those lows on the 1 hour time frame. If they go down there and take those lows without us, then that's probably going to be the morning session for me. And then I may just come back during the afternoon session. So this box right here, I just mostly use this box on my chart to see risk to reward. I am not actually in the trade right now. All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? Over there on Twitch. Doyen at work right now, but I'll pull up for your next stream. Add me on Discord. Man, shout out to you for pulling up, bro. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that for sure, bro. Shout out to you, man. Make sure to drop a like on the video, even if you're on Twitch, Kick, wherever you're at. Make sure to drop a like. And also, don't forget to check the link out in the description below, you guys. Always remember to use code TRUCKIN if you're going to go and buy a challenge with Apex, Trade Day, Lucid Funding, E8 Markets, of course. That's one of my favorite companies to work with is E8 Markets, and Alpha Capital is one of my favorite companies as well, right? I have nothing against Apex, but I wish that more companies, right, would be like Hola Prime, right? Hola Prime, one thing I like about Hola Prime is that they have futures, crypto, and Forex, right? I don't understand why all companies don't just have all three at this point, right? And I also like that about E8 Markets as well, right? E8 Markets also have crypto, futures, and Forex. So if you're somebody like me who, I enjoy the traditional accounts a little bit more, they give you options right now. Obviously, you guys see I have my Apex accounts put up right here. I'm going to try to get funded with Apex again. I have 3 150K accounts. But I'll be honest, and I have nothing against Apex, but Apex is definitely hard to get funded with Apex, and it's definitely a challenge to get a payout with Apex, right? You have to be extremely consistent. And then you also have to take profits, right? So as soon as they give you profits, you have to be taking them. And for me, that kind of messes with my strategy sometimes because I'm an intraday trader, but I'm also a scalper. But mostly I try to look for intraday trades, right? And then when I get on those type of trades, I like to try to hold for as long as possible, right? And sometimes, when you're trading those futures accounts, especially Apex, because they have the intraday trailing, it really don't allow you to hold. So it's not like you can't get a payout, right? We see people get payouts all the time. It's just for me personally, I've been struggling to get funded with them, stay funded, and then also get a payout, right? So you guys know me, I'm more of a two-step old school account type of guy. All right. But I do have my accounts put up right here on the side for you guys. I'm going to be trying to get these accounts funded. And I appreciate all of you who do use my code. A lot of you have been using my code with E8 Markets. So I really do appreciate that. That just shows me that, some of you guys are really rocking with me and y'all support the channel. Y'all support some of the things that I'm doing. So, I really do appreciate those things. All right, so we're looking to take a sell position. Now, because, it is FOMC, we can expect the market to, really draw up into levels a lot, right? And it's gonna dance around a lot. Um, let me go to the 1 minute time frame. Right, it's a lot of chop out there on the 1 minute time frame, so I'm just gonna wait on the 5 minute. But like I said, if we take all of the liquidity right now, which is essentially where my yellow lines are, these are liquidity areas from the 1 hour time frame, right? So swing lows on the 1 hour time frame. All right, so I'm just going to be looking for this out over here. See if we can, pull it back up and then get a continuation to the downside. All right, so we're pulling back up very close to the zone that I am looking for. I want to see this market get a little bit higher. So I am going to just take one position.
Order filled.
For a sell. Just because I want to scale in. Like I said, this market may move a little quick today. All right, I want to at least take at least one position right there. I am expecting it to go a little bit higher so it can get me inside the trade. But it is going a little bit lower than I expected. So we're just going to
order filled.
Take that quick scalp right there. Nothing too fancy. They gave me a quick 50 points on the scalp almost. At least I think it was 50 points. How many points was that? All right, how many points was that? I don't know. I'll have to see. All right, I'm trying to operate my little trading view over here in the corner. So I don't want to move my box around too much, but we just made a quick $70 right there. I think it was at least 30 points because I only used one micro. And then we're looking for this market to go back up. So we can, continue to the downside. All right, so I do expect this to maybe get swept out, this little high right here. I do expect that maybe this high is going to get swept. I don't really know for sure. But anywhere above here is where I'm going to be looking to get in for an entry, for a sell. Remember, do not follow my trades, you guys. This is all for educational purposes only. All right, we're going to try to get these Apex accounts funded. All right, we're going into my area of interest right here. All right, it keeps rejecting, right? Because there's an order block right there on a 15-minute time frame. I wanted it to go a little bit higher. It just rejected almost 50 points right there in like 2 seconds. So this market is moving really fast, and that is why I want to take my time and try to get a really good entry. Because if you would have, hit the button, if you was trying to get in right there at the top, and then it comes down 50 points within 2 seconds, then you can get in all the way, end up getting in all the way down here, right? So that's why I really want to take my time. Just keeps going up there and rejecting. I do think we're going to get a little bit higher. Okay, I'm gonna take one
Order filled.
here for a sell. All right, I'm gonna get in with at least
Order filled.
macros for now right there. And let's just see if we're going to continue to go higher or if we're going to start to push below. All right, maybe I can at least get in for, 4 to 6 micros on this trade.
Order filled.
So I'm in right here.
Order filled.
About 4 micros. Right. So I think I'm going to add maybe
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
in for 8 micros altogether. Trying to see if we can, pretty much sell this market back down. Trying to follow the trend right here. All right. Very big rejection right there, you guys. Very big rejection. Like I said, this is FOMC day, so you can expect a lot of crazy wicks, crazy candles on the 1 minute, right? So they gave us a rejection, and then just like that, it's right back up, right? So we're not really going to be too phased about that. We're just trying to be as patient as we can and just have good risk management on this trade. All right, so possibly I could have possibly just took that scalp right there. And that's what I was saying. Like, even though I'm looking for a bigger position, when I'm trading with Apex, sometimes I always feel like I should just always be taking profits, like on every little move. All right, so it's getting really bullish in here. We're not going to be too freaked out if we go up there and stop us out. We have to be okay with our risk management. All right, so we did touch into this little fair value gap right here, which is, I'm using this pretty much as a breakaway gap. That's why, and I told you guys we could dig a little bit deeper into this gap right here. That's why I didn't really want to put my stop loss right there. Normally, I would put my stop loss right there. Right? Normally, I would put my stop loss right there, but because it's the morning before FOMC, I literally told you guys we may touch into this zone, right? And that's what you guys see that we're doing right here. Right? So now we're starting to really reject really fast. So I want to see, the price start to really move down. And then I could also box this gap up right here because the yellow box at the top is going to be a breakaway gap. So we don't really want to see any, candles close inside of that gap. And then also with this fair value gap is right here as well, we don't want to see any bodies close above the midpoint of this fair value gap. Otherwise, I'll probably just collapse the trade. right? So I'm going to try to be as patient as possible. But obviously, like I just said, this is the morning before FOMC. I'm probably going to do an evening stream as well. But you know, we don't want to get too fancy, right? But we more than likely will have to have some patience right here because they're trying to fake people out and make people think that, you know, the market is buying up. All right, getting a bit of a rejection as the market come down, and this just came down so fast right there, you guys. We're up about 50 points at bare minimum on this trade. Our first target is going to be this swing low right here. But obviously, you know, I'm trying to target this low down here. It's just all about how fast it wants to get there. You know, I just don't want to get chopped up this morning. Right, and then plus we have a new week opening gap down here, right? I don't want to see this new week opening gap continue to hold price up, right? So we need to get through here and we need to get through there pretty fast. Otherwise, I'll just collapse this trade, right? But I'm trying to be as patient as possible, hold this trade for as long as I can. All right, I would like to start to see some speed right here going to the downside. I would like to see some speed right here going to the downside. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to collapse this trade and take my profits, right? Because like I said, that's the problem with, you know, for me at least trading with Apex, I feel like I always have to take profits when I'm trading with Apex. So I want to see some speed right here going to the downside. As I anticipated, market could possibly pull back, but I really just want to, you know, be patient and trust my stop. But because, you know, Apex have an intraday trailing, you guys can see that my trailing drawdown is getting, is getting wrecked right now. But I'm still just going to hold and be patient right here. All right, so we just hit the midpoint of that fair value gap right there. We should see some type of rejection after hitting the midpoint right there. I'm just going to try to hold and trust my trade, y'all. But like I said, on Apex, the smartest thing to do is to take that first scalp and then maybe get in right there again. But I don't know if I'm going to be quick enough to catch it again. So I just have to trust my trade and try to be patient. So I think I really want to add in here, but now it's so close to stopping me. See, that's why I should have just took profits on right there. All right. I'm not going to close it just yet. I might even add right here. But I'm just going to wait. I truly think this is a fake out.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
All right. So that's why I should have just took profits right there. But I'm not going to close just yet. I truly think this is a fake out. Could be wrong. See, let me see. We could. I'm thinking about getting right back in on my other account that I got stopped out on my other account. Let's see. Trying to see the risk to reward. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get back in on my other account right there. And let's see what's gonna happen. It might not even be able to go to my TP now because if we close above, 'cause, 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 Let me see. We swiping this 1 hour.
Order filled.
Whoa, Apex just closed me out. Oh my God. Loss limit on my Apex accounts. Maybe that's for the better. I can't believe I just lost that trade like that. That was disgusting. Maybe it's for the better. All right, so I guess I should have just took the scalp. So I'm glad I put a daily loss limit on these Apex accounts, man, because this is why you have to scalp on these accounts, man. It's like you can't get too fancy with these accounts at all. So I just got wrecked right there. That was not nice. That was not nice, you guys. Was up 800 plus and then just turned it into a loss. Holding it a little bit too long right there. So that's disgusting right there. I mean, just look at this. Gosh. This is just crazy. Do we want to come up here and sweep this high, though? Well, I guess that's the stream right there, you guys. I'm about to go ahead and get back to work. You guys seen what happened. I was in profits, didn't take it. Got smacked up. The least y'all can do is drop a like, make me feel a little bit better. Use code Truckin' if you're going to go buy any accounts with EA Markets, Apex. And I'm going to get out of here, you guys. So, that's pretty much my daily loss limit was hit. So, it's nothing else for me to do. That sucks, though. I'm not even going to lie. That sucks a lot. But that's why you got to take profits. So, I hope y'all learn why you got to take profits, man. So, I'll see y'all in the next one.